Hi everyone, welcome to the final round of the Lincoln, Nebraska League Challenge Fennekin season, and I apologize that I didn't get this video up in the past few days, but yeah, I'm in college and I'm busy with school and stuff, so please bear with me. And here we will be seeing a battle between me on the left, and if you check the description, you'll finally learn my name. Anyway, so there's me on the left with my Darkrai Sableye deck, and pink sleeves, what the hey, because. And on the right is Jordan Nelle, and Jordan is actually a really awesome player. This past year, he actually went to Worlds in Vancouver. He was a senior. That was his last year as a senior. He won. He went 4-4 at Worlds, so he didn't make top cut or anything, but he won half his games, and that's pretty good considering he was just a senior and he went all the way to Worlds. That's pretty awesome. So, actually, his very first match as a master, I beat him because that was pre-release and I just got better pulls than him. So, fun tidbit there. But anyway, so here is the final match between me and him, and I just recorded this because I realized I had not recorded Jordan in a match and I had not recorded myself, so I just pointed the camera my way and that was that. So he's actually playing a plasma deck. I did not know this, of course, until we actually saw each other's opening hands. And it looks like I'm going to start with a Keldeo. Long story. During my second match, I had a Keldeo. I think I might have said this already, but in any case, I'll just repeat it. I started out with a Keldeo. It got hit with a hypnotoxic laser and never woke up. That was pretty much how I began to lose that game. If I had managed to retreat it at any time during the game, I probably would have won, but that got knocked out, gave my opponent 2 prizes that he really needed, and he was able to win based off that. So that was that. And now I start with a Keldeo again, and I'm worried that I'll end up with the same problem. At this point, I don't know what deck Jordan is playing. Of course, he's playing a plasma deck, but yeah. So I'm just praying that he doesn't have any hypnotoxic lasers in his hand because I do not run a repeat of round 2. But anyway, so in the final outcome, me and him, I'm not going to reveal who won this match, but he and I both ended up in the top 5. This match here was pretty much to determine who would actually make top 4, or make it within the top 4 anyway. But anyway, so expect a really huge game here, and I'll say that for being my first league challenge here, I am very happy with where I ended up. So yeah, and he played really well as well. So yeah, let's just see what happens. We're just wasting time here waiting for the judge to call for us to begin. I do notice that he started out with 1 Pokemon as well. Unfortunately, I think he's going first. But it gives me a little bit of hope because he might not have a good opening hand. And I see the Lugia and I realize Plasma deck, I am safe. Because most Plasma decks don't run Hypnotoxic Laser. So, very first turn, he Skylas for an N for next turn. I have an N in my hand as well, so I can easily just use that, knowing that he'll use N anyway. So, we'll see what happens. He doesn't have any Pokemon in his hand. I think he has a Plasma Ball. Guess not. Or, I apologize for the camera angle. I just set this up in a hurry, so. He's basically saying, no, he passed. No, he wanted to show, okay, here, I remember what happened. He was like, he really had like 5 supporters in his hand. Unfortunately, 4 of them were Professor Juniper. So he Skylit for an N for next turn. I had a red card and an N in my hand. I was like, I really want to just red card you here, but I'm going to play the N instead. And he was basically showing me his hand there, say, thank you, because it was virtually all supporters. 4 Junipers, a Colress, I think maybe a Switch, and the N that he got from his Skyla, so. I needed cards just as much as he did, and I knew he would end next turn anyway, so that's why I played my N. And pretty much here I'm hoping for a red card to get his hand even further down. And definitely Darkrai or Sableye or something. You know, anything, any other basic Pokemon, but no, I got Mr. Mime. I'm going to play red card, put his hand down to 4 from 6, so that is going to help me out a little bit. I could put Mr. Mime on the bench, and since he plays Plasma deck, I know I need to, because I need to worry about Thundurus and Kyurem. So then I can Ultra Ball. I really want an energy here, so I could Dark Patch the stuff onto it, but I don't. So I could Ultra Ball here, or I could wait until next turn, and I'd rather play safe here. I'm going to Ultra Ball away the other Ultra Ball and Dark Patch. And I have it in my hand for next turn, so I at least have a supporter. I'm going to get Darkrai. That's the best card to get right now, because I need the free retreat on Keldeo as soon as possible. Whenever I draw a Darkness Energy, then I'll be able to retreat it, get it out of there, and not have to worry about it being knocked out. So that'll be the end of my turn. So Jordan is going to play Ultra Ball, get rid of a double colorless energy and a Skyla. And getting rid of the double colorless energy doesn't hurt him that much, because Thundurus has Raiden Knuckle, which moves an energy from the discard pile to one of your benched Pokemon. That includes special energy, so if he wants, he could just move the double colorless energy to one of his benched Pokemon, and here he actually gets a Landorus EX. I was a bit surprised to see that. It's not often you see Landorus in Plasma decks. Usually when people run Plasma decks, they just run Plasma Pokemon. But here he just went for Landorus. And he attached a Fighting Energy to it and played Professor Juniper. He has a bunch of options now. And I don't remember exactly what Landorus does, so I look at it. I actually, at that point, I was trying to remember what its weakness was, because if I need to power up this Keldeo, then I at least have one Pokemon that's weak to it, so that's something. Plays down a Genesect EX and passes. I drew my Darkness Energy. I'm going to attach that to Keldeo and play in. Because I don't know if I want to retreat Keldeo yet. I'm going to see if I get a Sableye here and an energy switch. I don't know. There's a few things I could go for, but I definitely don't want to retreat Keldeo too soon, because I could pull anything out of my deck. So yeah, cut each other's decks, and let's see. I got a Sableye, but no energy switch. So I could retreat into Sableye and just pass, or I could retreat into Darkrai, which is more likely to take a hit. I probably should retreat into Darkrai here. I need to retreat the Keldeo because I'll need it for later. But nah, well, I might not need it for later, considering Plasma decks don't generally play Laser Verbank. But I'm going to retreat it anyway. I'm going to retreat into Darkrai and pass. I see Pokemon in Jordan's hand, and a supporter. Even with this camera angle, I could still see what he has. He's going to attach a Plasma Energy to Lugia, put a Deoxys EX on the bench, and Skyla, probably for a switch. Okay. Oh, and Darkrai is weak to fighting, so Landorus will actually be doing 60 to it with its Hammerhead attack. So it does 60 to Darkrai, and since I have Mr. Mime on the bench, my bench is safe. And he actually commented at this point that the Mr. Mime is really annoying. So I drew Hypnotoxic Laser. I'm obviously going to play it. I flipped heads, so it's asleep and poisoned now. I've got to attach to something. I attached to Sableye, and for here it looks like I do something stupid, but I just wasn't thinking right, and yeah. I asked Jordan if I could take that back, and he said sure, but then I realized, no, I can do this, so I'm just going to rush in with Keldeo, then retreat in the Sableye, which I attached the energy to anyway, so we both laughed at that. You know, when you're in the heat of the game, sometimes you just aren't thinking straight. He saw what I was thinking of doing and then realized that I made a mistake, so he was perfectly okay with it. So I can Junk Hunt this turn at least, or I could Confuse Ray for an extra 10 damage, but really what could that do? I ask him how many cards are in his hand. He says 4. I used an Enhanced Hammer to get rid of the Plasma Energy from Lugia. That's very crucial to get rid of those Special Energy in Darkrai, in Plasma decks. Bench another Darkrai EX. I could play an Ultra Ball here, but I think I'm safe for just Junk Hunting. I'm going to definitely get back the Enhanced Hammer because, well, I absolutely need to get it. Those Special Energy in the discard pile. I need to get rid of them as quickly as possible. Then I go for the Dark Patch. Even though I don't have any Darkness Energy in my discard pile, I do have a Ultra Ball in my hand, so I could use that next turn, and I am in good shape. He flips heads, so he wakes up. He takes 10 from the laser damage, and then he benches a Snorlax, which is a bit annoying. Attaches Plasma Energy to Genesect, uses Red Laser, and Professor Juniper. That's a lot of stuff that happens all at once. If you're not paying attention, you could miss something. But he could... see, Snorlax is a bit of an annoyance because I cannot retreat my active Pokemon whenever Snorlax is active. So I could always rush in, I guess, with Keldeo, which will put Keldeo in the active, but then Keldeo cannot retreat. And this is where I really need to put like a switch or something in my deck or an escape rope. It's annoying, but yeah. Luckily, Snorlax isn't active here. Lander says it did 60 to my Darkrai. I used Enhanced Hammer again, put another Plasma Energy into the discard pile. That's 2 in there now. Whenever I put Plasma Energy in the discard pile, that is 1 more Plasma Energy Jordan cannot attach to his Genesect to use Red Signal. So here I rushed in and retreated into my Sableye. Darkrai has a lot of damage on it, but I think I'm safe. I don't run Max Potion in my deck, so that is a bit of an annoyance. I'm going to Junk Hunt, get that Enhanced Hammer back. I need it, I need it, I need it. I cannot stress how important the Enhanced Hammer is to have in my hand at all times when I'm up against Plasma. I could get a Dark Patch here or something else. I'm probably going to go for the Dark Patch. Red card would be absolutely useless against Jordan right now because he consistently keeps his hand really small now that he knows I play red card. So I'm just trying to decide what else to get out of my discard pile. I see that he has 2 energy in his discard pile, and anyway, so I decided to go with Tool Scrapper, just in case he plays tools. And he probably does, but I haven't seen any all game, but I just want it just in case. So it's his turn. He has Landorus. Landorus' Hammerhead is actually going to be doing 40. Oh, I think we misplayed a while back because when he hit my Darkrai, he had the Deoxys on his bench, so that really should have done more damage. Oh, I just now saw that. But at any rate, now Landorus' Hammerhead is going to do 40 to my Sableye. And he attaches he almost attaches double colorless energy to Lugia, but he knows I have that Enhanced Hammer and I just get rid of it, so he wants to save that for later. He uses Switch, puts Snorlax into the active spot, takes the poison off his Landorus. Now I can't retreat, and this gives him time to power stuff up. I probably would power up Keldeo here. If I can attach an energy, then play Energy Switch to put another energy on it, then I can do 50 each turn to Snorlax. That will eventually knock it out. So it's not like I'm stuck here doing Junk Hunt or Confuse Ray or whatever. So my turn again. He doesn't have any special energy in play, so I cannot play my Enhanced Hammer. I'm going to discard. I'm going to use Ultra Ball, discard another Ultra Ball and an energy. I could go for another Darkrai here, but it's not in my deck. So actually, I have no extra Pokemon in my deck, do I? I might have had Sableye, but oh well. So I didn't get anything at any rate. I'm going to Dark Patch to Darkrai. Unfortunately, I cannot get that Darkrai into play because of Snorlax's ability. I think it's Block. I don't remember what it's called, but it prevents my active Pokemon from retreating. I don't have an energy switch here, and I haven't attached from my hand yet, so if I play this in and get an energy and an energy switch, I'm good to start attacking with Keldeo. But I think I'm going to go for Junk Hunt here, and Here's where I made a big misplay. I completely did not get the enhanced hammer with the Sableye. I got a dark patch and a red card. I should have gone for the enhanced hammer because I haven't seen it yet, but I should know that he has a Thundurus in his deck somewhere. And if he gets Thundurus in play, he can start using Raid and Knuckle and putting energy onto his Pokemon. I only run 2 Enhanced Hammer in my deck. One of them is in the discard pile. If he knocks out Sableye, I have no way of getting it back. So yeah, wait. It might still be in my hand. Maybe I didn't make that misplay until later, in which case, spoiler alert. But anyway, so he uses Red Signal, brings up Darkrai. He could switch from Snorlax into Landorus. He did a big Coal Rest there for 8. After putting Muscle Band on Landorus. And there's the Thundurus. Now I'm in trouble. He just needs to attach 1 energy to that, use Switch and Raid and Knuckle, and he can put energy onto his bench any way he wants. The upside is that I'll be able to start doing massive damage with stuff besides Keldeo, so... But at any rate, he passed. I used Enhanced Hammer, got the special energy off of Genesect. I used Tool Scrapper, got rid of the Muscle Band. Red card to put his big hand down to 4. And then Hypnotoxic Laser on the Snorlax. No, that was the turn where I misplayed, because I still cannot get my Sableye into the active position. Only my Keldeo. And Sableye really needed to get back that Enhanced Hammer with Junk Hunt. That was my big misplay. So, I attached a Dark Claw to Darkrai. I really needed the Verbank there to knock out the Snorlax, but as it is, it looks like it's going to live. I think it has 150 HP. No, even with the Verbank in play, that wouldn't have been enough to knock it out, but still, that's annoying. I attach from hand to the other Darkrai. I don't know what else to do. There's not much else to do. I have a Muscle Band in hand, but he might play Tool Scrapper, so I'll keep that for later. And I will Night Spear, now has 120 on it. And I do 30 to the bench to Lugia. Best card to go after there in my opinion. Because Lugia is a really big threat to my deck. He can, Lugia can knock out any of my Pokemon and take an extra prize. And what's worse is, my board is not looking so good right now. Lugia can knock out almost any Pokemon with 1 hit at this point. So that's very, very annoying. So he uses Max Potion, gets rid of the damage on Snorlax, then uses Shadow Triad to move a... Okay, this is where it gets really technical. He uses Shadow Triad, it puts a Plasma card from your discard pile to your hand, and then he attached from hand to Genesect, brought up the Keldeo, and passed. He took 10 from poison there. Let's see. I used Enhanced Hammer. I really need to attach an energy to Keldeo and get an energy switch off of whatever supporter I play, because I could play Energy Juniper, and that should get me what I need with how little my deck has in it now. Well, I almost went through my entire deck there just to find the Juniper. So anyway. Looks like I'll be able to get it. I am going to toss out a bunch of stuff here that I really don't want to. I will attach the Muscle Band to Keldeo, just so I do that extra damage. That'll do 70 with a Secret Sword. You almost never see Keldeo powered up with a Darkrai deck, but sometimes that's just what you have to do. I got the energy and the energy switch, going to move it off of my damaged Darkrai. Now my Secret Sword's doing 70 plus 30 from poison. That'll put that Snorlax up to 100 damage. Yeah, I think that math is correct. There's a lot of thinking that goes into this, and I really, really am feeling the heat right now. Neither of us has taken a prize card, but I really think Jordan has a much better lead right now than I do. He plays in, so we both still get 6 prize cards. And as you can see from the video, this is only halfway over. This is a really long battle, by the way. They had just called time after we finished our match. So yeah, So we're shuffling our decks now. I think both of us are in trouble unless we get really good stuff off of this. He really needs a max potion for Snorlax or Switch so he can get out of the poison. Because I believe the poison will knock him out. If not, then it'll knock him out going into his turn. Anyway, so he attaches double colorless energy to Landorus and Professor's Letter. So that's only for basic energy, though. He's probably only going to do this to see what he has left in his deck. Yep, he didn't grab anything. Mostly Plasma decks don't really play that many basic energies, and since I had seen Lightning Energy go into Discard Pile earlier, and he has a Fighting Energy on Landorus, I kind of figured he didn't have many left. Anyway, he's going to switch out of his Snorlax into Genesect. Probably, if he can get that Genesect powered up, then this Keldeo is dead. Ouch. He's going to Colress Machine. Oh, it fails. That kind of sucks. I think Genesect needs 2 grass and a colorless to use its attack, Miguel Cannon. He's going to Plasma Ball. Probably getting nothing again because obviously his bench is full. No, he's going to get something. No, he's going to get Thundurus. Okay. Just for when one of his Pokemon is knocked out. Because it's inevitable. It's got to happen sometime. This battle is lasting for too long for it not to come to an epic showdown. And he's going to pass. Is Genesect active? He's going to pass. But at least I can retreat if I need to. I have a Dark Claw, Professor's Letter, Computer Search. I have a lot of stuff that I could do. I really need a third Darkrai in play, but it's not in my deck. From when I was looking earlier with my Ultra Ball, it wasn't there. So I play another Hypnotoxic Laser, put this Genesect, I poison the Genesect, can't put it to sleep. Let's see. I'm going to retreat into my Darkrai. I can Night Spear for that'll put this Genesect to 140 damage. If I do 30 to the bench, where will I put it? I think Snorlax has 150 HP, not 140. But it may have 140. If so, then I'm going to target that Snorlax with my bench hit and knock it out and take the first prize of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, it took 20 minutes of playtime for me to take the first prize, if I did it all. But yes, I did, in fact. Wow. Of course, he's just going to bench his Thundurus that he got. Yep. So he's going to bench that Thundurus. He's going to play in. If he cannot get out of this Genesect, then it's going to die of poison going into my turn. So he can retreat it. I think he can retreat it. It's only a 2 retreat cost, so he can attach from hand, or he could do something random. He can get out of here. It's no big deal. He could switch. He could escape rope. There's a few options. So we're counting each other's the cards in each other's decks now, and it's very small for both of us. So yeah, at this point we cannot really risk wasting turns because we don't have many resources left. He attaches a Prism Energy to his Landorus. Now it can do its second attack, Land's Judgment. He's going to retreat his Genesect. I guess it did only have a 1 retreat cost. And he can Land's Judgment for knockout, I believe. He's going to Colress Machine for nothing, just to see what's left in his deck. And I believe Land's Judgment will knock me out. Correct. So he needs to discard 2 cards from his from Landorus, but he gets 2 prizes, so that's a very nice trade-off. So I'm going to promote my Sableye here. I really need to... Okay, this is where I made my big misplay. I am going to Enhanced Hammer away the double colorless energy. After I red card, of course. I'm going to red card Jordan down to 4. I really need to... I'm definitely going to use the Enhanced Hammer here. No reason not to. But after all said and done, I'm going to Junk Hunt, and I needed to get the Enhanced Hammer back, and I did not. I use Professor's Letter here for 1 energy. I can attach that to the damaged Darkrai. Yep. And I'm going to energy switch to the Darkrai from Keldeo. No, there's probably no way I'm going to use that Keldeo ever again. Going to Enhanced Hammer away the double colorless energy. There. I could Bicycle, but my deck is really small here. At this point, it only has 5 cards left. So, I Junk Hunt. And my big misplay, I did not get the Enhanced Hammer. I really should have. I go for a Laser and something else. Energy Switch, probably. So, it's his turn. He's going to get a really explosive turn here. He attaches to Thundurus. No, he attaches a Muscle Band to Thundurus. Now it's doing 20 more damage. He is going to Colress for a nice big 8. His deck is getting small, and at this point I'm hoping maybe I can deck him out instead of outlive him, because I only have 1 Darkrai and it has a lot of damage on it. Unless I get a Darkrai from my prizes, I am in very bad shape. But yeah, he has enough cards in his deck for that to not really be a problem. He has 5. Yeah, he has 5. He can knock me out in more than 5 turns, and I realized my mistake right as he attaches that energy. I should have gone for the Enhanced Hammer with my Junk Hunt. He plays Switch, and he can raid a Knuckle for a knockout. Deoxys does 10 extra damage on top of Thundurus' 30 base, plus 20 for the Muscle Band. Hold on. How much is that? 40, 60. He's only doing 60. Yeah, he's only doing 60. It's not enough to knock me out. So I really should go for the Enhanced Hammer here with a Junk Hunt. Just sacrifice Sableye, but anyway. So I Tool Scrapper away the Muscle Band. At least I was smart enough to do that. I play a Hypnotoxic Laser. Thundurus is not asleep, it's just poisoned. I have a Dark Claw in hand. I could attach that to Darkrai. I could Bicycle, but my deck is very small. I do not want to risk decking myself out, and I ultimately will if unless I'm very careful. I'm in a very bad situation. So I am going to retreat. I should have just left Sableye there to die, but I did not. I should have Junk Hunted for the Enhanced Hammer. That was my second big mistake. I seem to make enough mistakes to lose the game every time. That's another reason why I watch these videos, though, is so I can learn. But at any rate, I Night Spear. I get a Darkrai off my prizes. Okay, I'm good. I knocked out the Genesect with my 30 to the bench. I'm going to count up the energy in his discard pile. Unfortunately, I really should have just left my Sableye there and Junk Hunted for the Enhanced Hammer. If I had been paying attention, I would have seen that he had no plasma energy left, so he couldn't red signal. I made a few misplays there. I just got ambitious. So he's going to Skylar for the Tool Scrapper, get rid of my Dark Claw on Darkrai and Muscle Band on Keldeo. And he's in a very good position. He is going to retreat into his Landorus, attach a Prism Energy to Landorus, and knock it out. Knock out my Darkrai. Takes 2 more prizes. Please excuse my phone. And let's see. I benched Darkrai. I need to get that thing powered up now. If I cannot, then I have lost, because he only has 2 prizes left. I really should have gone for the Enhanced Hammer there with my Junk Hunt, but I did not. What I should do is retreat into Sableye right now and Junk Hunt, but I'm not thinking that way. I'm thinking, okay, get this Darkrai powered up so I can knock stuff out, but I'm not thinking like that. Oh, like I should. So yeah, let this be a lesson, all of you. I searched my deck with my final Professor's Letter, see what's in there. If I had been paying close enough attention, I would have seen there was actually enough stuff in there for me to win the game if I had just Junipered here. Because then I could, yeah. Anyway. So instead I just use Secret Sword. Since Landorus is weak to water, that does 100 damage. Landorus now has 130 on it. And if he gets a double colorless energy onto Lugia and another energy, then he's set to knock out just about anything on my team. Well, that's not entirely true. He would need to put damage on Keldeo and Darkrai first, as well as like bring one of them up. But in any case, he's thinking about this far more than I am, and that is my big mistake. So he could Hammerhead here, but if he does that, he's leaving Landorus there for Keldeo to knock out next turn. He could retreat into a fresh Thundurus. So there's no way that that Thundurus could get knocked out. Let's see what else. Yeah, there's a few things he could do. If I were him, I'd definitely get out of this Landorus. Stuff in hand. Is he able to do that, though? Let's see. I think he's thinking about this just as much as I am right now. He's going to think some more. See, both of our decks are very small, and if he's not careful, even though he's ahead on prizes, he could deck himself out. So, yep. Let's see. I don't think he's played a supporter for his turn yet. He's going to take a look at my discard pile one more time. He's just counting what's in there. I counted what's in there as well, but I didn't pay close enough attention when I searched out my deck. If I had, I would have realized there was enough stuff in there for me to really make stuff work, but I did not, so... yeah. He didn't know how many lasers or energy switches I run, so he was counting those up. I actually ran one more of each, and they were both in my deck. And that really could have saved me if I had remembered that. But as it is, I forgot and he didn't know, so he's going to play the safe route here. And he's going to... He has an energy in hand, so he's probably going to attach to Thundurus, the fresh Thundurus without damage, retreat into Thundurus, and then use Thundurus' Ray to Knuckle. No, he's going to attach to Lugia. Oh, Scramble Switch. That's even better. Okay, then. I thought he was out of switching cards, but he played Scramble Switch as his ace spec. I honestly did not see that coming. But I guess in Plasma it makes perfect sense. Yeah. So, and then he benches a second Deoxys. And now all of his attacks are doing 20 more damage. Well, everything but Landorus. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, it was not a misplay earlier. Landorus is not a Plasma Pokemon, so it does not gain Deoxys. It does not gain Deoxys ability. It does not add to damage. So that was not a misplay. We were good. Okay, I'm happy now. So I have a Juniper in hand. I could Juniper away my hand and look at what's left. But no, I'm going to send something up to take a hit. And that was, ladies and gentlemen, my final mistake. It is his turn. He's going to retreat into Lugia and Plasma Gale for knockout. Because I completely forgot it took an extra prize. Believe it or not, I completely forgot. So that was another big misplay on my part. I made so many this game, it's embarrassing. But I hope you all enjoyed watching all these videos of the League Challenge. I was planning on doing States as well, but it looks like I'll be out of town on the day States takes place. That's unfortunate, but anyway, so this was a game between me and Jordan, Nelle. The final standing was Jordan placed 3rd in the tournament, and I placed 5th. I'm very happy with where I ended up. And that is pretty much it for this video and for this miniature series, this tournament anyway. So I want to thank you all for watching. I highly recommend you go to a tournament someday if you can. This is Skull Shirtle Gold TCG, and stay tuned for more.